So, okay. Just closing some stuff to try not to get frame drops. But at the moment it says good. Perfect. Even says already 2 viewers. No, nice. Okay. As the title of the stream says, like this stream, in opposite to my normal streaming, is actually going to be in English, not in German. As I always think that most of the games that you play that are actually like set up in a different language makes it a bit exhausting to then stream it in another one. So I'm going to play Ravenloft Strahd's Possession in English, actually. Actually, there would also have been a version of it in German. But as I only got to know about this game from an American viewer of mine, like during a Neverwinter Nights stream, I think it's only like it's nicer to do it in English, and especially like there's a sequel of Ravenloft Strahd's Possession that is only available in English. Generally, it's already 2 viewers. Cool that you're there. That's great. Please write in the chat so we can talk a bit while streaming this. In opposite to the games that I streamed so far, Ravenloft Strahd's Possession is a game that I haven't played at all. So I only checked out whether it works to see whether I'm able to stream it. But so it's a completely blind playthrough. I have no idea what I'm going to get into it. Ravenloft itself is quite a great campaign setting of originally AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is a bit a gothic horror setting. It's a bit like, imagine all the creepiest and worst nightmares that you find in other D&D worlds like the Forgotten Realms and Planescape. And they were put into like one setting that is only there for gothic horror, like with a lot of like parts that are divided by mist, and where you always have something like one arch enemy in every part of it. I'm quickly checking one more thing, and then we are jumping into the game. So actually, this is like a big experiment for me as well. So we'll see. The moment. No, but it says it's fine. The dashboards are not always completely synchronized.
Having recently returned from patrol, the comrades of Lord Belt walk the corridors of High Hall, approaching the quarters of Elturel's sovereign lord. Word of the unforgivable is in the land. Forces without virtue, it is whispered. Forces both powerful and corrupt plot against good and bad. In a rush of explosive magic, the door to Belt's follows cold thunder. It is too late. With each stride toward the door comes the icy realization of failure. Amid the debris lie Delt and the mage Baranta Chancellor, still alive, yet both mauled by the ferocity of the attack.
Thank the gods you're here with us. By helm, if only a moment sooner. The assassin who sought our lives has failed, but in his hand lies the holy symbol of Helm, the amulet torn from me as we fought. The cutthroat moves quickly toward the forest beyond the castle. Stop him and retrieve the amulet. Go now!
A vow to Helm is sworn in Belt's presence, and the quest begins. Never shall the Lord of Elturel see his comrades again, until the amulet is safely in their hands. At the gate, an order to raise the portcullis is given. happens all too slowly for those whose blood seethes with anger over the assault the Lord dealt. Hours later and far beyond the hearths and homes belted, the assassin's trail leads into an autumn wood. The apparent peace and beauty of the setting belies its danger.
By any chance, like if the sound or the music is too loud or too quiet or anything, just write it in the chat so I can adjust it. It was quite a dramatic getting into the game, or quite a dramatic intro. Yeah, you see here it's like the game is from 1994, so it's a good 26 years old. I'm quickly checking one more thing with the dashboard, as the dashboard tells me sometimes that there are frame drops. On the other hand, like the streaming thing says there is no frame drop, so let's get back. So we're starting with actually creating characters. Altogether, from what I've read, I didn't read through the whole manual. The whole manual is actually a book with around 100 pages. But from what I read, like altogether we will have a party of 4 characters, but we are starting with 2 characters that we created first. Oops. This was a misclick. Oops.
Having recently returned.
I wanted to click on create characters, not on quit game. That's very Ultima-esque, like this whole thing of like hanging out at a seer to actually create your character. So let's foresee this character, which I guess means to create it. Actually, as I haven't played the game, I have no idea what kind of characters you will find. I will go like as I did in Baldur's Gate at the moment, that I'm going with an, at least in the character creation, with an only female cast. But I'm quite open to wishes and so on, if it's about like what kind of characters we're building here. Let's maybe go with a female human. Maybe I'm going to do one character as it is in the Baldur's Gate. Let go through like let's play to go for a human paladin. So we're going for this portrait. Okay, age 17, armor class 6, level 5, HP 34, strength 18/24 is quite good. No. Or should we edit anything else? I guess Dexterity on 18 is quite good. So we could go for one less intelligence and just put it on charisma to max it out a bit, but actually it wouldn't have been necessary. This is actually quite a good roll. Click on attribute card to accept. So keep. We're calling her Barnaba. And then we're going for a second character, female again. As I have a thing for like small characters, let's go for a halfling thief. No, like a pure thief, not a fighter thief, not a thief fighter, not a multi-class. So we're going for neutral good, or now we're going for chaotic good. Here for this. Then we are going to reroll. This looks quite good. Now we edit. Our attributes a bit out because like we don't need that much intelligence, but we could use some more dexterity. Up to 19 is quite good. No, 12. So and now I only need like a good name for her. Rose Bouquet. And so we're going to watch this future and then really getting into the game. We've seen the intro, which was very dramatic. Like obviously, like a lord was assassinated together with his mage. And now we're getting into it. We are on the trail, like following the assassin. And yeah, we will have a look what's actually up in this game.
We're close on him. I feel it in my bones. He's gone headlong south, fleeing like a fox from a flood. We'll take him soon if we stay on his heels. South then, for Lord Dell and for justice. I guess this is the assassin. Let's quickly check out the controls in this game. So we're both having short sword and Barnaba has a broadsword. What else do we have here? Lockpicks, this is quite good. Potion of extra healing and potion of giant strength, okay. And there we have a sack. Can we look into this sack? So, okay, then let's start this. And let's have a look. I guess this is the assassin that we are following, or we're going after, so let's check out the combat system. I actually think it's a bit like in other games of this era, that you have to click on, sorry.
that you have to click here on the weapons to actually attack. So let's try this out. I guess we defeated him. The stench of necromancy hangs about those foul bits, the assassin's magic objects. I can barely breathe for it. Still, I agree we must gather them up. Allow the priests of Helm to study them. It's their skill that will uncover any further treachery in them. The other is Del's amulet. Take it too. So here we have a... Okay, we'll have a look at the parchment in a second. What do we have here? Heart of Mortal Order. So we have Lord Del's holy symbol. That's what we were after. And what do we have there? Oops. By Helm, we're losing the light. Look there, a fog rolls in as though it would devour us. The mist creeps on it as to foretell our doom. What do we have here? I guess this is quite a typical symbol for Ravenloft adventures, that you always go through fogs or mist. Do you sense it? Do you sense it? Look about. This is not where we stood a moment ago. It seems most unnatural. Lord Del's amulet and those foul objects we found on the assassin are gone. Gone. They've vanished. Don't you see they've been stolen from us? Okay, so... But the assassin's parchment is still there, so... Let's check out how we actually... Can we read this parchment in one or the other ways? Okay, maybe like this? No. Ah, like this. I'm beset by madness, perhaps insane. I commit these few words to paper that others might better judge my fate. Born to this land, my life's yearning focused on but one event, to escape Ravenloft. This I accomplished. How I managed it, what secret I acquired, and what I stole from an undead lich is unimportant. Know this, that in delving into arcane lore and ancient manuscripts, I came upon knowledge of the one article which might destroy Strahd. Further, in the land beyond Ravenloft I may have found it. Though deceitful and tortuous sources, many of which I only half believe, I have come to the conclusion that a charm worn by Lord Del of Elturel is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. What is my madness? That after escaping Ravenloft my heart tells me I must steal Del's amulet? Even if it means the death of that good lord, and with a charm I only half believe might be Strahd's doom. I must return to Ravenloft. Only I, it seems, might free my people from their eternal fate. Not faith. Fate. Okay, so obviously this is how you read things in this game. I guess that also in this game we will have a lot of inventory problems. So let's check out whether there is something in the sack. No, nothing happens. Okay, so here we are now. Let's once go around. Okay, there is like just the misty, foggy kind of stuff. It's all very 3D. Like I'm knowing exactly what I'm looking at the moment. No, not really. But come on, it's 1994. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. There's a walk. We know how to... Ooh. Ooh, that was... We almost got killed by a warg, or at least Rose Bouquet almost got killed. So maybe we just put a... We take a potion? Can we take a potion? Is this how you take a potion? Or do we have to put it into the... Or maybe we're just dead at the moment. Unencumbered. Unencumbered. Ah, okay. We have 0 HP, so... I'm almost at already loading now. Because we are 2 minutes into the game and already lost our first... No, it's more than 2 minutes, but like already lost like our first person. Okay, so now as we know exactly how this game works, we're going there, killing the assassin. Okay, we know this one. So then we pick up this stuff. That's disgusting. So now we're getting the thing that brings us over to Ravenloft. By the way, like all the time when it's like Strahd, because like Strahd was referenced already a couple of times. As far as I know, Strahd is kind of like the Dracula of this campaign setting or of this world. So maybe that's useful to know. Doesn't look like much in here, barely worth bothering if you ask me. But then, no wait, there upon the floor, what appears to be a trapdoor. Well, let's not stand about. There must be a trigger, a lever or some such. Come on, look about. I think we have to... yeah. It seems like a very, very good way of fighting if I'm just standing in the door and hitting the wall. Is the walk still there? Everything doesn't sound too promising, to be honest. Okay, there is a dead person. What do we have here? You pick up skeleton parchment. So something more to read.
Strahd Master of Barovia. If the heart of this dark land has a name, it is Strahd, my lord and my destroyer. As I die, let me write what I could never freely say, that the very air about us bears the stench of Strahd's foul will. Let it be my epitaph. Epitaph? I don't know, I have no idea how to pronounce this in English. That if I had the strength of youth, no assassin of the Baal Verzi would more willingly devote himself to Strahd's destruction. With my last breath, I curse his name. Okay. I really have to get used to like where I have to press on the keyboard. Okay, obviously I can't take this plate from the table. Let's check out here this cupboard thing. And I guess we have to go in there. What is this? I pick up a stone. A stone. Can't be wrong to get a stone with me. And actually I want also to
check out the outs. Ah, okay. Is this another walk? Or is it... No, it's dead, right? Sounds dead. I want to check out the outside of this hut or cabin. Okay, there's another. Whew. Okay, walks are generally not that hard, obviously. HP. XP. Okay. It's really like like the gameplay itself and the controlling is a bit something to get used to. But actually, I'm really curious about like the whole story of it. Like, as far as like what I read from the Wikipedia entry of Ravenloft Strahd's possession, it should be quite hack and slay. Okay, this is. I'm not pretty sure whether I'm already lost now. No idea where to go. And I find it a bit unsettling, these noises. So, there is nothing. Southwest. I thought, like, okay, but this is, I guess, just like a fireplace kind of thing. Okay, then we go out and see where else we can go. What is this over there? There's a couple of other stones. Good. You can never have enough stones. I. No, let's load again. But please, dear two viewers, do you have any idea where to go from there? I feel a bit lost. Okay, so we're going in there. One doesn't look like much in here, barely worth bothering. There must be a trigger. Ah, yeah. I already forgot about the trigger lever thing. So we have actually to press on everything, I guess. This might be something, right? Oh. And then I was in. Ah, okay, good. So I was right about, okay, this is a place where you go into something. So let's check out this stuff. I'm not even sure how to handle a simple door in this game. Ah, okay, this is how you simply went. Okay, good. I'm slowly learning. I'm slowly learning how to handle this game generally. Is there any way how to open this? Okay. So let's pick up this stone. Maybe let's kill some more wolf walk creatures for the experience. Oh no. Obviously, I haven't understood yet, like, how this game is played, but I will find it out eventually. Just give me another 2 or 3 years of hardcore studying. So I figured out, like, the harder... I think I'm not pretty sure how this works, but good. So yay, very good, Barnaba. That's how you should do it. So okay, there is another walk. Okay, good. So, okay, let's go into this house before the next walk is coming. We are pressing the lever, the trigger, whatever. So, we're saving once more. And now the question is really like, how can we open these doors, right? I hope I won't just like fail at this so hard that I have to look up at the manual. As said, the manual itself is like a book with 100 pages, so everything is in there. But of course, like it's also like the complete spell book, and like a lot of stuff like tables when you're getting like your next level XP wise and stuff. It's all in there. I have the feeling that I'm simply failing at the easiest game mechanics at this point, which is opening a door. So do we have to? No. Or can we try to lockpick our way through? No. I'm completely lost. What is going on here? Okay, over there is a ladder where we came down. I'm quite sure, like, once you know how to deal with it, it should be easy. Distancing. Okay, no. Can't be that hard, right? Oh, is this embarrassing? But to be honest, like when I first just like tried out whether I can can get this game to run, I had a bit trouble with finding this part up here. Memorize. No, we don't need to memorize anything for the moment. Auto map. Good. It has an auto map feature. Like, this is a modern game. Come on. I just have no idea how to open doors. What else could I do than just like clicking on it? I could attack it, but nothing is happening there. Oh. Do I have to handle it with a pure hand? No. Okay, I will look it up in the manual. Epic fail already now. So the first reading combat, okay. Second reading spellcasting, okay. The third reading adventuring. Movement, I know movement. Movement is not a problem. NPC encounters blasting monsters with fireballs and having your character wheel. Blah blah blah. Much NPC dialogue. Pick up and drop items, add items to inventory, place objects in character's hand. I know how to do all this. Saving, playing in depth, inventory, screen, character position. Auto mapping is great. Okay, like I'm looking in the manual at the moment and looking for the keyword open. And the first thing that I'm coming to is when things are really tough, save before opening doors. There's nothing about that it could be really tough to open doors. Close. To open containers such as a sack or chest, place the object in the character's left hand on the bronze figurine. Okay. The container opens up, displaying its content. Yeah, that's nice. Run into it. It's not as if I tried this. Place the appropriate key over. Okay. Open doors. Some doors are open simply by having your character walk through them. Other unlocked doors can be opened by pointing the cursor to the center of the door and left click with the mouse. Okay. It's not as if I haven't just like tried to walk through this without anything. By the way, hello Furious ROC, it's a pleasure that you're there and seeing me failing hardcorely at a game from 1994. Okay. Let's try to run through this. But like the manual said, I should just like run through it or click on it. Which is both things that I did. What the heck? What the heck? Yeah. At the moment, this is the best thing about the stream, that you are there and that I'm here, because the game itself... I think it might be strategy of the game. It might be strategy of the game to simply be impossible at times to get you into like a gothic horror whatsoever mood of oh no, we are all going to die. Back to the manual. Okay, opening doors. Open a gate. Click on the release lever or button near the gate. Some gates are locked or guarded by hidden traps and can only be opened with keys or special actions. Some doors are opened simply by having your character walk through them. Other unlocked doors can be opened by pointing the cursor to the center of the door and left-clicking with the mouse, assuming, of course, that your party has approached the door and is close enough to open it. Other doors may... Okay. Maybe I'm not close enough, but I can't get closer there. Ah. I'm pretty sure that in the design process of this game, that this wasn't meant to be any kind of a riddle or something. I think they said, hey, yeah, this is just how you do it. You just like walk through it or click on it and it works. But it doesn't. I have to... Okay. Okay. So, we have to look very carefully around and finding these stones in the walls to open doors. But okay, then it was a riddle. I feel much better now because I solved it. So let's check out this room. So, oh, a potion of extra healing after we already used one for our thief. That's quite good. A Balversi dagger. Okay. You pick up a cleric scroll of raised dead. Okay. What this? Ooh, a chainmail. But you already have a chainmail, right? Okay. And our thief can't use a chainmail. But like to be honest, although this was quite an unfair riddle right in the beginning of the game, but in a way I'm super excited about all this because I don't know the game at all. I'm not that familiar with Ravenloft. Of course, like I know some basics of it. But so all of this is very, very exciting and new to me, which is great. And I mean, of course, like the game is from 1994. The handling is not super comfortable in all respects. Oh, a composite bow, and you can use it. The question is a bit like whether we have to. Okay, that's what I thought. You need arrows for your bow. But okay, this makes sense, and like this was quite standard back in the days. I mean, this is the same in Baldur's Gate that you have to actually carry around arrows and ammunition with you. Oh, a quiver. There we have it. Oh no. In one quiver there are 8 arrows. So I can shoot my bow 8 times. And then I have to refill it. This sounds like a lot of fun. So what do we have here? Is this a dead? No, that's not a dead body, right? Or maybe it is. It's something at least. No, it's not. Okay. It's good that they give us so many potions of healing. So what else do we have here? Looks like a fireplace. So as we learned in the game, we have to actually also click on every piece of wall once to see whether there is something else. Maybe like a secret lever or trigger or something. What is making me a bit uneasy at the moment is that I had the feeling when I finally found the switch to open the doors that I've seen some movement in one of the rooms. And now there is nothing. And I can't do anything with this thing? No. Okay, check out once more. But this one was in an even smaller room. There's nothing. Let's check out the auto map. Was this me? No. Okay. Don't distract me, Facebook. So... But this auto map is also not too useful for the moment. Yeah. It's a hidden underground chamber. Okay. But doesn't give so much more direction than what it is. But it doesn't look as well as if it would be much bigger than this. Yeah. Okay, so we've been to a like. Let's let's summarize once again what we did so far. So we went after an assassin that killed our lord. We killed this assassin. We found the amulet of the lord. Then we went into a mist or fog kind of situation. We came out here. We went into this cabin and we found like a... We found a... something on the ground. And then there was nothing. I'm not pretty sure whether we're still in kind of a tutorial part, but I guess yes we are. So... I have to be careful. Whew, okay. Maybe what we should do is also just like having one potion each. No, this was not the right potion. Yes, it is a potion of healing. No, eh? Okay, I still have to learn a lot to actually get through this game. So let's automap, check the automap here as well. So it seems that I'm just assuming now that I did everything that I could do in this small cabin tutorial place. So we could check out here because there are a couple of pixels. So okay, we check out the area over there, whether there is something more, and otherwise we're going to the... Okay, we're killing a walk on the way as well. Ay. Oh. Ah, okay, this was what was moving. So I still have to get around this game properly. So raise that. Yeah. Did you also like from like at the moment it seems that our big aim of this game is gonna be like getting out of Ravenloft again, right? So I have to try out the bow once more because within a fight it's not so sensible to do so. I figured. So Barnaba feels better, good. So did I get everything that is in this room? I guess so. So let's save once more. You do not have a quiver equipped, but I have a quiver here. Do I have a quiver to put? Ah, good. Oh, there's a goblin. There are more. What? Okay, I'm quite sure that I'm dead in a second. First dead, first dead. Maybe I need a death counter for this game.
Having recently returned from patrol,
Yes.
the comrades of Lord Belt.
Yes. Back to the introduction scene. Continue game. But okay, there are obviously more enemies than only walks. Can I use this one? No.
A poisonous vapor! We would never survive to the other side, nor even a moment more in that shocking mist, until we learn more of this land. 'Twould be best to keep well away from its fog-bound borders, okay. It's a big try and error game that we're playing here. It's a big try and error game. What? There is no walk at the moment. Okay, there is a walk. Good. So... why can't I use one more of these ones? Lay hands. Okay, good. So we already know how to cast spells. So let's go once more to the auto map. Okay, we're just passing by this house and going in this direction. We're killing this walk. We're finding some stuff here. What is this? Pick up a shield. A something. A Keok Tom's ointment. An ivory scroll case. This is good. A maze. I'm amazed. Haha. Okay, so we found a dead adventurer here, obviously. Oh, it's 2 walks. Ah, but okay, this is where we go next. It's just again the thing that Rose died once more by walks. I will have to look up one more thing in the manual about the fighting. To attack your character in hand and ready. To accomplish this, place the mouse cursor over one character's portraits at the bottom of the screen and left click with the mouse, blah blah blah. It is possible to have an item in hand but not ready. Two-handed weapons demand the attention of all 10 of our character's fingers. Ah, that is of course also like a thing to try out. So the quiver is there.
Ah! I learned one more thing. I know now how to use a bow. But I only have 8 arrows, so I'm not pretty sure whether it's a good idea to do so. Attacks are made from the adventure screen. To fight, place the mouse cursor over the weapon you wish to use and left click. This sounds like such a stressful fighting system. Okay, good, but that means that you don't have to press on every single weapon, but it's also enough to just like press to click on the enemy itself. So let's try this, whether this works. Ooh, it's a third viewer. That's nice. Cool that you're here. Okay, I have to load once more. I'm still at learning the basics of this game. It's quite old, and it's actually not that complicated as such. It's just not very handy, so... And I think like the biggest enemy of this game is the game itself and its control. But I'm here and willing to master it sooner or later. But okay, so I think I'm not going to use a bow in this game. Or only in a very, very, very few circumstances where it might be easier. So okay, let's get close to... Ah, this was good. This was good. I'm getting better at fighting. And I should check out like how much XP we still need for the next level. So I want this ivory scroll case, and then I can I put stuff into it? Okay, but I think I have to do it somewhere where I'm not attacked by a walk or something. Which is not here, obviously. Whew! Okay, there's another walk. Ooh, we're really getting better at fighting. How many XP is every... Sorry. Is every walk worth? Okay, so here we are. And going to the next map. Whatever this map is. Old Swalish Road South. Okay. So, okay, this is for sure progress. Why? Why is there a skeleton on a pole and it makes a speech bubble symbol, which might mean that we can talk to it? So, no, we can't talk to it. It just has like a note hang to it. If you walk my land, then heed my laws. A warning to those who defy my will. Strahd von Zavikal. Or something like this. Okay. So what do we have here? Old Swalish Road, yeah, okay. It's quite clear that this engine was not really made for showing outside territory. Okay, I could collect some rocks, obviously. But to be fair, like the atmosphere itself of the game is quite cool so far. So okay, this is also the same. There's like everywhere are poles with skeletons. Okay, there is. Okay, there are brigands. I'm quite curious whether we'll at any point in this game get to a moment where I feel like, hey, now I know what this game wants from me. But so far it's still very confusing. Why is there this kind of like maze in the middle of everything? Like, it's a hedge. I guess it should be a hedge, right? Or maybe not. Or maybe it would be too much to wait for a situation in this game where you feel like, hey, I know what this game wants from me. Like, I guess I'm going down a bit with like what I want from this game is simply to have a situation of not feeling completely lost. At the moment, I really don't know where I have to go to. Okay, this is a place where we shouldn't go in because this is like this foggy wall again. Okay, there's more stones that I could collect. Okay, is this a smashed skeleton on the ground? Don't know what this is. As said, like, the atmosphere is great. I simply have no idea where to head next or what are actually the possibilities. Like, from the first map it was a bit like, shouldn't there be a bit more of like direction, and now it's just so we have everything explored here and here. So let's get on the other side of this hedge again. Huh? Okay. Let's turn completely and get over here. Oh, this looks like more enemies to fight on the one hand, and it's a lot. It's 3 of them. Okay. I think once more we have to load. Because our halfling thief is dead again. Dead. Oh no, I haven't saved for too long. So okay, there is a walk. Walk we should be able to do. Okay, good. So we know we should go in this direction because there is progress. This is progress place over there. Keok Tom's ointment. I have no idea what to expect of this thing. So I will pick up the mace. Okay, and now we're going simply back to this house because we know that we don't get attacked while we're in this house. And then we figure out what is in the sack and how to use the ivory scroll container. So, okay. Okay. Cleric scroll of detect magic, cure light wounds, and flame blade. Okay, and it's really only scrolls that go in there. It's not parchment. There is a difference here, people. We learned something. There's a difference between parchment and scrolls within this game. I'm not pretty sure what to do of this Keok Tom's ointment thing. Okay, so we're taking this away again. We're also taking down this quiver. And we can just put things into the sack. Let's check out what we can put into this sack. Okay, good. That's stuff that might be handy in the sack instead of somewhere else. No. Okay, this makes the inventory much bigger than it actually is. That's great. Yeah. Okay, so let's explore further. I feel risky at the moment. I feel risky, and as far as I'm concerned, at the moment it doesn't look as if it will be much easier soon, or like with much more direction. So let's go in the direction where the goblin camp was. Goblin, by the way, is written here with a Y, which I find quite confusing. I haven't seen goblins with a Y. Actually, we could look into the manual because there is also a bestiary goblin. Totally evil and submissive to their master's every whim, these creatures are formed by powerful magical items and spells, devices which have transformed once normal humans into these twisted beings. Okay, this is new to me. I didn't know that goblins were actually human beings that were twisted. But okay. So, okay. What is this? Over there is a walk. It's two walks. Okay, one walk. One walks down. Still one to go. Good. I like this sound. The sound design is amazing for the time that it was invented in or developed in. Okay. Okay, good. It's quite clear that Rose needs more life energy. Okay, let's get out of this and go to the next map. We won't take on the other hand. Hey, Paladin is almost leveling up. Okay, so maybe we go back once and level first. Like one more walk should do the thing. Okay, there's also a goblin. Did we kill the goblin? I think so. And woo! Now we have a paladin level 6. Obviously it's not very outspoken, the game, on when you're actually like leveling up and stuff. So let's go and explore the next map. So we're coming from here. We have read this. This is like a warning thing. Ow, 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 ow. Why are there so many of them? Did I already say that like this is a super stressful fighting system, combat system? So okay, last brigand. Good. So and now the question is like where to go. Okay, so we're coming from here. So let's try out north. Let's go as much north as possible. Can pick up some stones just in case. I actually think we can't do so much with the stones though. So okay, there's a corner. No. It feels a bit weird that I'm so like overwhelmed with this gameplay. But yeah. Ah, okay. Ah, this is like the transition place that we used the last time. So okay. Let's do this structurally. So we know these are the two doors into this map of the old Swalish Road. So let's go further north till there is no going further north anymore. Blades! It's a trap! Here they come, their eyes gazed for a fight. Yeah. What? Ah. Okay, we have to load once more. I have the feeling I really need some more people in the party. The thing is that I have no idea where I could look for more companions in the party. Okay, this brigand. Ah, there's another one. That's why we got so much damage. a very stressful combat system, and not a very tactical one, to be fair, so far. So automap. Okay, yeah, this is like the second transition point where you can get into here. So we know up there is this trap with the blades. So more enemies, more brigands. Huh? This is so weird. Like I'm going back to like, and if I go back too much, then the brigands are simply turning invisible. But maybe it's also, maybe if there is like such a strong encounter, if there is such strong enemies, it's a sign that this is maybe not my direction for the moment. This was the time when this was still like a valid point of game design. If you don't want people to go there, don't warn them. Just put like enemies there that are strong enough to keep them away. Okay, yeah, this is like, I've been to this place as well. So let's explore this once more. And see whether we find stuff that makes us feel less lost than we are. Because, I mean, like, I think we agree all that we're completely lost in this game so far. Or at least I agree with myself on that. Huh? I can't go through all this. It's too many trees. I keep hanging in these trees. Ah, I think this is on purpose. So we have to go here and here to get... It's a bit like, I think what makes me especially insecure is the thing that with everything where I don't find the next step right away, it's a bit like, hey, okay, is it me that is just like stupid? Or is it like this ancient game design? Or is it simply because it's an old game that there are a couple of mistakes in there and it's hard to control it? Okay, but this looks like something different, like a different architecture, which I take for a good sign. We're killing this brigand here, hopefully. Who is obviously like a master tactician, because he always went out of my sight. So let's check out what kind of building or wall this is. Ugh, not another one. Why are so many of them here? Okay, good. We killed another brigand. So we can check out once more. Okay, this Rose is also leveling up soon. So let's check out what kind of wall this is. Is this part of... Ah, there's more brigands. Why? Or isn't it... Yeah, it is brigands. They will kill me. I need more companions. Just saying. Otherwise, every encounter will kill me completely. Or maybe I should start to use another part of this game and use like the resting mechanisms.
Having recently returned from patrol, the comrades of
I should
Ravenloft,
try to avoid
corridors of high
to
hall,
really get killed in this game, because every time when I'm killed, we're going back to the introduction scene.
forces without virtue, it is whispered. Forces both powerful and corrupt plot against the good and the bad. In a rush of explosive magic, the door to Belt's hall is torn asunder. It is too late. With each stride toward the door comes the icy realization of a failure.
So,
Amid the debris lie Delt and the mage Baranta Chanson, still alive, yet both mauled by
why
the
can't I
velocity of the attack.
skip this? Ah.
Thank the gods you're here with us. By helm, if only a moment sooner. The assassin who sought our lives has failed, but in his hand lies the holy symbol of Helm, the amulet torn from me as we fought. The cutthroat moves quickly toward the forest beyond the castle. Stop him and retrieve the amulet. Go now!
So. Okay, now I was able. I'm really waiting like for the great story to kick in, to be honest. But this looks at least like a bit of civilization where I might find. So let's rest. Do you want spellcasters to heal the party? Yes. We rested for 12 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, good. I'm glad that we haven't found anything to eat yet, so that we don't have to take care for this part of, or manage this part of our group as well. So, okay. This was good. This was very lucky. So, Old Swalish Road, we are here, yes. So, let's go a bit back. Okay. One more brigand is dead. Alter. Okay, lay hands. So, okay. Is there a door? I think there is a door. No, this is again this warning. Yeah, a door might be like a bit... It's more a gate than a door. No need to waste time on the gate. I once helped retackle this mess, forge a portcullis with bars that thick. He and I lifted and hammered, burned our hands and learned our lessons. And I tell you, I could lift a treasure vault easier than I could bend those bars. I say we go back. Okay. Feels a bit like the first time that this game is giving me any kind of... No, it's not true. It's not the first time. But one of the few times that the game is actually giving me a bit of directions. So, okay. Let's check out this part. And then we go north again. And we'll kill a lot of brigands and rest in between, so that it is actually manageable. Okay, there is not so much that is actually usable or anything. But okay, so this part of the old Svalik road we have to return to later or something to open this gate. So we can also go there to explore the rest of here. What the fuck? Oh, I guess I'm not allowed to say that on Twitch. The good thing is hardly anyone hears it, maybe. The count of viewers doesn't tell me so much that there are thousands of people watching here, so I can basically say whatever I want, I guess. I have never really read like the rules of Twitch in depth. So okay, so we're going here and we know that there are more enemies to be slain. So we are hopefully well enough to kill them. Blades! It's a trap! Star Wars reference. Here they come, their eyes gazed for a fight. Yeah, their eyes gazed for a fight.
I yield! Hear me, I yield! I'm done! At your mercy, as you plainly see. I implore you, leave what breath remains to me in my lungs. Leave to me my blood, so that it might hide deep in these cowardly veins of mine. I'll flee from here, I promise you that. Never to return to undertake thievery again.
Yield to you? Aye, wisdom comes quickly to the last man standing in a fight. Out of here then, run, be gone.
Gentle soul, we were wrong to harass travelers of such generous disposition. I'll trouble you no more, except to alert you of our camp, which lies further down the road. A marker alongside the path, a large stone with an arrow carved upon it will point the way. May my last words with you be to implore the gods to keep you safe.
Okay. So, slowly we're getting there where something like... Huh? There's something more to like storytelling going on. Okay, this is where we came from, right? Yes. So, okay, we're going up north. No, now we're going south. I don't want to go south. I was on my way north. Okay. Ah. There is another person to talk to. Yay. Ho, fellow. Which way to the nearest town? You're the first traffic we've encountered that hasn't tried to attack us.
I trust you will return the favor. It is often said in this land that only a fool crosses a gypsy, and I am of full Vistani blood. As to the nearest town, that would be to the north, the village of Barovia.
Okay, the Vistavi are the Roma and Sinti of this world. So this Barovia, is it a Vistani town?
No. Barovia is a place for Georgios, for those not lucky enough to be born Vistani. The boundless world is a gypsy's home. But the land is not as boundless as it was once. And in places, in the outer regions of Barovia, you will come upon a fog. Beware. It is a vapor. A poisonous mist that rots the organs. Only a Vistani potion can get you through.
Okay. What of the king of this land? We've heard he is a tyrant named Strahd, a man much despised by his
I'm afraid
people.
you are misinformed. For one, Strahd is no king. Our lord, Count Strahd von Zarovich, makes few laws, and his voice is rarely heard. He rules from the shadows. Even so, he is the lord, the land, and the law. A friend to the Vistani and a just ruler. If you heard otherwise, your ears know the voice of an evil man.
Okay. Your words have the sound of good sooth. For safety's sake, I ask you, how may we acquire your potion, this antidote for the
15
fog?
coins and the potion is yours. Ah, but your eyes tell me you do not have such a sum. Worry not. I am soon to be in Barovia myself. You will find me at a tavern known as the Blood of the Vine. Later, you may have coin enough, and in good faith, I will reserve some of my potion for the honest fellow I meet upon the road.
So I guess then I can leave this Vistani and there is a walk attack. Which forces me to load once again. And okay, this means we have to do some stuff once more. Blades, it's a trap, so and we should rest after this fight.
Ah,
Which lies further down the road, okay. No. Rose is dead once more, so no. This auto map also doesn't work properly, is my impression. Okay, it's a trap. Okay, first one down. Last one down as
I
well.
yield! Hear me, I yield! I'm done! At your... Ah, gentle soul. We were wrong to harass travelers of such generous disposition. I'll trouble you no more, except to alert you of our camp, which lies further down the road. A marker alongside the path, a large stone with an arrow carved upon it will point the way. May my last words with you be to implore the gods to...
Okay. So, rest. Yes. Save. Resting is like the best thing you can do in this. Did it just get brighter? Does it have like a night-day change system? So, auto map. always the same warning. But what is this? Ah, this is just like the... Okay. Good, so let's explore this part. So, lay hands. No, lay hands. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, okay. So let's... These audio cues are really freaking me out a bit. So... I will get lost so often in this game, I'm so sure. So, okay. So let's go up the Old Swalish Road south a bit more. So we talk to this one.
Ah, no. Barovia is a place for Georgios, for those not lucky enough to be born Vistani. The boundless world is a gypsy's home. Ah, but the land is not as boundless as it...
Yeah, we heard all this. He's a fan of Strahd.
15 coins.
And he will give us such a potion to get through the mist fog thing if we have enough money. So I guess this is a bit our mission then, to get enough money, but as well like to find Barovia in the first place. I guess if we find Barovia, this is already a big step. So I find it really hard to orient, like to not lose orientation in this game. So okay, over there is the fog. Everywhere are walks. Okay. I think the walk is stuck there, so I don't care. So yeah, stone. Okay, so just like checking quickly whether there are some more walks. So no, all the signs only say the same. This has to be the marker the brigand spoke of. Perhaps he lied after all. It points directly to the wall. Am I supposed to walk through solid objects now? The brigand's fate was too kind. No, actually I think there might be a hidden entrance there. So let's check this out. Yes, there is. And now we have to fight our way through a whole camp of brigands or what? And they have a dirty laughter. So let's kick asses. Oh, it's not brigands anymore, it's darklings. What is darklings? I think we will check out the manual, because this is what it's for. Darkling. The Darkling is a gypsy, one of the Vistani. This is a thing that's bothering me a bit. I mean, like, nowadays it's politically not that nice anymore to talk about gypsies, or actually like more Roma and Sinti and so on. But I mean, it's 1994. Like, the whole discourse was not that far back then. So, the Darkling is a Roma or Sinti, one of the Vistani who inhabit the land. However, the vagabond has been cast out by his own people for some offense, then left to wander alone, becoming more evil with the passing of the years. In melee combat, the Darkling will generally rely on light arms like daggers and short swords, doing damage according to the weapon employed. However, a Darkling's trademark is to coat the blades of these weapons with lethal poison. Darklings often gather band of human thugs about them and take up the life of the wandering brigand, committing heinous crimes and acts of random brutality. So, no, I don't want to quit. I just want to read about Darklings first before I encounter more with them. So there is one more Darkling, so no, there is more than one more Darkling, but okay, let's kill this Darkling. And let's hope that we don't get poisoned. So, okay. Good. Good so far. Ah, there's a Darkling. Okay, and now someone is poisoned. This is exactly what shouldn't have happened. So, what is this? The poison of giant strength doesn't... Okay, we have to load again, because we don't have anything against poison. Okay, so we know now how this how the riddle part of this game works. Okay, Darkling number 1, Darkling number 2. Good. 2 Darklings down. Time to save. So there is another one. And now it's time to load, because I'm poisoned. Or Rose is poisoned. I would be really much in favor of getting some more companions soon, because I think it will make the fighting a bit easier. Although, like, for me personally, nothing changes about the fighting. It doesn't matter how many people we have. It's a clicking massacre anyway. But I guess a couple of other fighters would be good that can also simply, like, hit on the enemies. Okay, another time to load. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry about, like, how well I play this game. I'm so sorry that you have to watch this. So, okay. This Darkling is down as well. This Darkling is down as well. Over there seems to be a lot of stuff going on. So, let's kill these 2 Darklings. And then we can loot this place as if we have never looted before. Oh, we have to load once more. So, let's... I don't want to get on two at the same time. Actually, I would like it much better if it would be one at a time. Okay. No one is poisoned. That's good. So, here we are. Let's check out all the stuff that is laying around here. So, this is a longsword. Is a longsword better than a broadsword? Broadsword damage 2 to 8 or 2 to 7? 1 to 8 and 1 to 12. Okay. So this is not the big better I'm looking for. Another composite bow. Another quiver. But actually I really think that I won't use... What is this? A scroll of fireball? A scroll of flame arrow? A cloak? That's nice. A scroll of neutralize poison. This is important. Fortune has smiled on the quest. Here's the first scroll with a mage spell composed upon it. After it is scribed into a spellbook, the power of its magic will be at our command. At your command. But I don't have a mage with me, so this doesn't... Not completely true, but okay, this is... I think we're still in tutorial land. And I have the feeling that, like, generally the character progression here is not very detailed. So it seems that there is nothing like weapon proficiencies and stuff like this. So a battle axe. 1 to 8, 1 to 8. Okay, this is not stronger. You pick up a chest. So let's get the sack away. Throwing knives, a sling pouch, healing and fiery burning potions. What is this? Ah, this is... So what else do we have here? Ooh, an adamantine chainmail. Armor class bonus 5, weight 30. It looks kind of cooler, so we're going for this, although it's not better. So what do we have here? No armor class bonus. Also no armor class bonus. Moderate. Unencumbered, okay. Another broadsword. Another short sword. So here we are. And I guess that's about it in this camp of brigands. Or actually, it was more a camp of darklings, wasn't it? So let's go out here and go up there. This lightish bluish pixels might be that there is another person to talk to. But maybe not. I'm not pretty sure yet how to read this map properly. So we're going there. Yeah. But it looks... Aha. I'm actually quite surprised how well done these also like the dubbing of the dialogue is. This is quite good. How Peacock Or rather, since you are of the light and grace of a female. Ho! Peahen! What are you doing in this dread-worn land, my lady?
Looking for friends, if I may call you that. And if I may, then know that I am looking for friends with coin. Do you have any? Traveling abroad has left my purse as light as a feather, and I am in search of generosity. Necessary. If truly desperately necessary. Honest work. Of course, even an adventure would be preferable to that. Are you online?
Okay, she's looking for a job. You'll find I can be generous with wine, good food, and friendly conversation, but coin you must earn. How much do you need?
Limit? Is there some level of wealth where we need no more? Well, to be honest, my first goal is to find a house that meets my needs. Perhaps in the village of Barovia. After that, I don't know. I've never been very good with plans.
It appears you haven't done too badly, my lady. What have you been up
A
to?
little of this and a little of that. Whatever might add another feather to my hat. Or a coin to my purse.
Did she already say what's her name? I don't think so. So, I for one believe a coxcomb such as yourself would add flair to the quest. Will you come along and add your blade to the work?
Blade, book, and sleight of hand. These tools of mine are at your command. May we journey together with laughter in our voices, and the sound of jingling coin ever closer to our ears.
Okay. So, okay, her name is Velika. And she has one of like the coolest multi-class possibility that is there. That she actually had 3 different classes at the same time. She's a fighter, mage, thief. Chaotic good, half-elf female, okay. This looks quite good. What kind of sword does she have? A long sword, that's fine with me as well. Dagger is not that interesting. Throwing knife. Mage scroll of improved identity. Oh, longsword back there. Okay. No. So let's find out how all this works. So first that was not what I wanted. Okay, let's go back to her and get her again. Okay, they sound like a new kind of enemy. A skeletal bat. A skeletal bat. So let's talk once more with Velika. It's a bit as if like the game developers just said, hey, what could be the first companion that we offer? Depends what kind of character the first 2 are. Maybe let's just go for a fighter, mage, thief. So everything is in there. Except cleric, of course. We would need a cleric as well. So I'm not pretty sure whether I like the sounds that are coming here. So, didn't we find somewhere a cloak? But I guess she has a cloak already. It's a cloak. Okay, so there's no difference in that. I guess I will quickly check again the manual to find out how this whole thing with learning spells works. Depth. Spellcasting. Apprentice instructions. To spellcast, first determine if a mage or priest, cleric accompanies your party. Mage has a golden spellbook displayed centered above his or her portrait on the adventure screen. Above his or her portrait? Okay, let's check this out. Yeah, there it is. At the moment there's nothing in there. You should put this down. A menu list appears. Ah, yeah. So memorize. Velika have magic missiles. Aganasser's score, slow shield or ice knife. Okay, we're going for magic missiles. 3. Here maybe for ice knives. Done. What we also have to find out is how... Ready for battle? Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is easy. In order to spells chosen. Once used, spells must be reacquired by resting. Yeah, this is the usual thing how it happens. I don't like these sounds, but I also don't know where they came from. Okay, I think over there this might be Barovia. Okay, so we have once she just has to rest once. Ah, okay. This was easier than I thought. Neutralize poison is a cleric scroll, so she can't use it. Mage scroll of fireball. Get in there. What is this? Mage scroll of flame arrow goes also in there. This will be such a horror if I would get like more things to manage in this inventory. Okay, so then we rest. Or we don't rest. Okay. So let's try to rest once more, yes. Doesn't seem like the best place to rest. Okay, we won't rest here. 4, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, good. So, what's quite cool, I quite like it that the first character that you actually can take with you is a woman of color. This is quite cool and great. So, okay, I think Then we are at the point where we enter. I guess this is Barovia. Is it Barovia? Barovia, village of Barovia. Good.
By the gods, this cannot be Lord Del's beloved land. There in the distance, mountains they like of which I've never seen. Before we wander aimlessly through a town we do not know, it might be best to find its first citizen, a mayor, burgomaster, or such. Somewhere on the edge of town, I'd guess, we should search for a large prominent building, perhaps surrounded by a stone barrier or a gate. So it is that power and wealth often display themselves.
So, okay, here we are. Okay, like, for it's called Village of Barovia. It seems to be kind of big. So, in this foreboding place, I'm not surprised when a young girl won't speak to a stranger. It's unlikely she could offer information of use in any case. The wisdom of a town does not lie in the heads of its young. So, okay. There's a cat. There is a fireplace. Okay, so there's a couple of people. No, that's fine. Done. Can we rest here? Yeah, let's just rest another time so that we don't have to. Okay, now we have to go in the dark. Okay, also here is all the warnings of cows, chickens, dogs, geese. Where are the animals of the village? Never have I known a village so devoid of livestock. We should be pushing our way through stubborn market traffic or fending off village mutts. If the few simple creatures which inhabit every village have seen fit to stay away from this place, we should be especially wary. Yeah, I also find this village a bit unsettling. Party creature, NPC furniture. So, okay. So let's. It would seem some place we are not meant to enter regardless of our efforts. Best to waste no more thought nor muscle on the door, but to move on. Okay, so some doors, no problem to get in. So, let's just... But this looks a bit as if we need like a special key or something. So... let's just go out again. What would be great if the auto map would just like also put some text. Save, print, text. Can we put text there? Hidden underground chamber, but no. Okay, this is a different. kind of text? Was just a matter of time, right? It was just a matter of time. Ooh, a Darkling. No, 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 no. I'm against Darklings. Okay. So, let's go into Barovia once more. Or maybe we should just like... So, I guess we should search for a large prominent building, perhaps surrounded by a stone barrier or gate. The air lies heavy with the scent of unburied dead, though it's not so much a true scent as a ghostly scent of sorts. It comes on the breeze, turning down these deserted paths, as though it were a message or a warning to all who brave Barovia's streets. Leave or die, as it says. Yet I, for once, plan on doing neither. So what does it says? Merchant or something. Looks like a storage room or something. Storage hall. Ooh, even like the moth next to the light are there. That's like amazing details. Ooh. What the heck? There's much to be said for appearing friendly to the natives and possibly winning allies among them. Since we've stepped within this home unannounced, a cautious and friendly approach is best. Okay, this looks like a king. So, what is this? I hope she talks more to her husband and children than she will to us. Then again, twice nothing is still nothing. There must be others in this town more willing to part with a few simple breaths will take to speak with us. We'll find them. It's like a super weird mixture of like things that are weird or not that easy to grasp because of like the gameplay, and the general like atmosphere that is for sure like on purpose weird and not very telling what to do and so on. So, and the sound design is really like just creeping me out completely. I have no idea what's happening here and who's doing this thing. I still would need a bit more direction. So like I'm looking for a big house or a big building, maybe with a gate or something. Yeah. This one looks not the friendly sort, not him. No one spare a moment to speak with a stranger. What is that has robbed these people of their common courtesy? And For God's sake, how big is this village? I really should find out how to use the text thingy here. Let's check out in the auto mapping 23. 23. 22, 23. As your party explores the many layers and labyrinths of the Ravenloft game world, the last thing you want to do is map each step of the way with pencil and paper. That's quite true. I mean, like, it was quite cool back then, but actually, like, I think we never really did it. But I also didn't play enough, like, pen and paper roleplay games, so that we had to do it. But, of course, like, there was a couple of games and so on that where we really were drawing maps. Choose auto map from the menu of options which appears. Move the cursor to the very top of the screen and choose auto map. Yeah. Text. By clicking over the text button, any text you have added to the map window can be temporarily hidden to allow better viewing. But I haven't added any text. How can I do so? That's my question. Left clicking on the quill pen allows me to... But I did click there and... So, okay, left clicking on the quill pen allows you to type notes anywhere on the map window. Simply move the cursor to the desired position and left click to begin your text line. Okay, let's try this. So, village of Barovia. That's a quill pen, right? No. I mean, like, generally the gameplay is not super complicated. It's a bit like a lack of explanation within the game. Or maybe it's a bit like, hey, it's 26 years old. Intuitive game design did mean something else back then. To the cursor to screen. So, left clicking on the quill pen allows you to type notes anywhere. Yeah. Anywhere on the map window. Simply move the cursor to the desired position and left click to begin your text line. So let's try this again till it works. So this is a quill pen. No. Ah, okay. Yes. That's great. So, okay. Oh, I have to push down text, then I can go there, then I can write it. So, no, erase. So, huh? Ah. Okay. Good. Okay, sometimes it's just about like waiting and see. Okay, let's load once more. And now we should get to it structurally. So now that we know that we can make nodes. Before we wander aimlessly through a town we do not know, it might be the best to find its first citizen, a mayor, burgomaster or such. Somewhere on the edge of town, I'd guess we should search for a large, prominent building, perhaps surrounded by a stone barrier or gate. So it is that power and wealth often displace themselves. So we need a big house kind of thing. Okay, this doesn't look like wells and stuff, so we're going to the other side. This doesn't have a gate or something either. Or neither. The allies have you. Okay, we've read this as well. But this also again looks more like the slums of the village of Barovia or something. Slums. Okay, this is again the warning. They use this warning thing a bit too often for my taste. So, okay, this is another entry to the village. So, okay, this is one of the young ones, and the young ones don't blah blah blah. So, okay. For God's sake, this is huge. The peasants need not have hidden at my approach. I'm not here to raid the place. What on earth am I supposed to do with so much quiet? Maybe we've come on a holiday with the folk gathered in one great hall. Yes, that's it. We'll soon hear them singing from the other side of town, dancing to such a beat I'll be tempted to frolic with them. But no, I don't hear a single breath, not a once. Not even one. Okay, there's a weird stone circle. Like, I haven't been. If Barovia is a stinking unwelcome place, this is the rancid heart of it. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I'm already now so confused, even without like checking into many of these houses. Okay, let's get back to the entrance. So have we seen any like big house? This looks like a big house. So okay, let's pass by like the slum whatever thing. And go to this. Anywhere else you can tell the time of the day by the sound of the village, by the traffic in its street. Here there are no bells, no cries from the marketplace, no vendors hawking their wares. Barovia is a haven for all the collected gloom of the world. I'm afraid the only voice we'll hear is a cry of terror. Yeah, I believe that too. So, okay. This looks a bit like what we're looking for, right? It's a big wall around it. It's a huge building. So, I guess this might be like the mayor's palace. Or burgomaster. This place sticks out like a gold ring in a pig's nose. What gives such a man the right to flaunt finery in a poor town? He's no doubt stolen the townfolk, blind by inflating their taxes. You'd think the lord of the place would be outraged. So this is Burgomaster's mansion. So I'm going outside just like to start actually like using my auto mapping properly. So Burgomaster's mansion. So good. And I guess I will do this with most of the houses of this village. Otherwise, I will lose control. So okay, so we're getting in here. There's a big corridor. So let's check out this door. Oh, okay. This door is easy to open just by clicking on it. It's not like the introduction door. But this is a strange chamber. Okay. Nothing in there. So let's check further. This is like a banner with a knife. This looks like George Washington. Maybe it is George Washington. So, okay. Let's check out this room. Can we take anything here? No. What the hell? Okay, there's another banner with a sea monster, sea dragon, and a boat. So let's check out this room. Okay, so this is obviously like the discussion room. A banner with a bear and a crown over the bear. So the family gallery. Ah, what is... Can we do something with this thing? No. The black sun. So... Okay, till now, this is still not as mazy, not such a labyrinth as I feared it to be. Okay, let's check out this room. But it's also not so much looting involved as I thought that there would be a lot of things. Okay. No. Let's for once not open every door, but actually checking out this whole corridor here. But in a way, like this really fits well into this gothic horror thing that no one is talking to you. Everything is weird. You're like going through a big... Oops. Okay, so this is a side door or something. That is going directly into the dining area. So, okay, let's go. So let's open this. Okay, then this is, I guess, the kitchen. But it's so weird that no one is here, generally. So... Potion of fiery burning. A lot of them. So, there is another door. Okay, yeah. This is going outside, this is going outside. So, okay, then we follow this trail, or this, yeah, this group of rooms. The music is quite good. I mean, I think I know that there is a good reason why not so many people are watching this kind of thing. On the one hand, I think it's a bit too early for normal American viewers, and I guess it's quite a niche thing. This Ravenloft role playing. Oops, no. I didn't want to memorize anything. I'm just checking with the map over and over again because I'm fearing that otherwise I will simply lose where I am. Okay, so this is both like fancy doors. It would seem we found the home of a man who can afford to be unstintingly generous to himself. This demonstration convinces me of one thing. When I'm ready to change careers, 'tis a burgomaster I shall become. Okay, there's a person to talk to, maybe. Let's check out the office over there before we talk to them. There is stuff. Oh, Mage Scroll of Ice Knife. It's already in the spellbook, so nothing to learn here. Chill Touch. So you pick up Strahd's writ. So let's check out Strahd's writ.
By the authority of our lord, Strahd von Zarovich, the following rumors are to be stemmed out of the minds of the burgomasters, boyars, and peasants of the villages of Ravenloft. Anyone repeating them is to be put to death immediately without trial and before making any public statement. They are that our lord is involved in any way in the arts of necromancy, that Strahd has made a pact with death to obtain his heart's desire, or has therefore been transformed in any way, that the Balverzi dagger used to kill Strahd's brother was last known to be in Strahd's possession, that the woman Tatiana plunged to her death while attempting to escape the embrace of Strahd von Zarovich, by order of Count Strahd von Zarovich. Okay, so we have a strong sense of message control in here, which is like a technique that is also used by nowadays politicians. So I guess this is quite okay. So let's put this in here. Let's also put the other two parchments in here. So, as said, like I'm quite sure that like managing this inventory will be a bit of hell, as we know from other other games as well, that small inventories are never a very good decision. Inventories. Sorry.
So, okay, let's talk to Burgomaster and whoever this is. Or, I don't know whether this is a Burgomaster. Let's talk to him. Your Excellency, Your Honor, please forgive me, I'm not schooled in how to address a Burgomaster. How do you...
My dear, sweet traveler, please. We burgomasters are called by our title. I expect you will make my home yours while you are here. In the name of Lord Strahd, whose humble servant I am, please relax. Enjoy.
I see another enjoys your hospitality. An elf of striking mien, Mayan? I have no idea what this word means. And grace. May we converse with her?
My other guest, yes. Well, elves, you know, are rare in Barovia. You may have noticed. And Lord Strahd has such a keen interest in the unusual. But then... I'm rambling. Feel free. Join my other guest in conversation, if, that is, she will agree. As fellow pilgrims in Ravenloft, you may have much to discuss.
Burgomaster, we've heard so much of Count Strahd von Zarovich. In some lands, week might pass before a traveler learns the ruler's name, but not here. Who is this man?
I was coming to that. You see, your interest in the Great One is matched by his interest in you. As Burgomaster, I have been instructed to present you with a letter of invitation from Strahd himself. It is a great honor.
Okay. So... Burgomaster, what does Strahd know of us? Does he invite every visitor to his castle? Was your elven guest invited?
At the risk of being rude, I say the dignity of my office would suffer were I to answer so many questions. The honor of Strahd's enchanting offer extends to you alone. My advice is not to refuse. And if my words do not impress you, if I cannot persuade you, he will compel you to go. His carriage awaits even now. Please allow me to take you there.
The invitation is intriguing, but we shall not be compelled to travel anywhere. Perhaps another time.
I cannot say if the invitation will stand. Please.
Like, we will go there, no doubt about that. I just wanna, like, read the invitation first, and we'll talk. I wanna talk to the elven lady over there. Hi, Ice Cobra. Unto the visitors in my land, Count Strahd von Zarovich, Lord of Barovia, sends greetings. Gentle travelers, I pray you accede to my humble wish and meet with me tonight in Castle Ravenloft. Your activities have brought many questions to my mind. As you in turn must possess certain curiosities about me, I feel a friendly interview to be in order. My carriage shall bear you to the castle in both comfort and safety. It is therefore in pleasurable anticipation of our conference that I await your arrival, Count Strahd von Zarovich. It really has like a very, very strong Dracula vibe, this whole thing. So far. And I slowly start to really enjoy this. Like, it's of course an old game and so on, and has like its difficulties and not being too... Look what I can do. I can change the position of the elven lady that is sitting there. But slowly I'm getting into it. Like, it's a bit a pity that, like, I've read about it, that it will be quite a yeah, like a hack and slay kind of game. But I find generally like the scenario or like the world quite intriguing and interesting. So I really want to learn more about it. So let's talk to the elven lady. I've never seen an elf closed up with books and soft chairs before, soothing her sorrows with tuica. Seems a pity, doesn't it?
Are you speaking to me? Books are the forest a mage journeys through, my friend, sometimes counting herself lucky to find a treasure hidden in these paper leaves. Oh, but please, allow me to embarrass our host. You see, I've grown bored with his attempts to win my trust with bland tweaking and false friendship. Might an elven mage from Sithicus sign on with you?
Like, I'm not pretty sure whether I'm able to let people go later on, but for the moment I'm a bit like, hey, get me all the companions that are there. On the other hand, like, she's a mage and I already have like a fighter thief mage there. But yeah, like, if your spells prove as sharp as your tongue, you may be of some use. Would you be willing to join our party?
Well, I already know what is of use in this place, and what is not. If we tarry for any purpose, it should be to relieve our host of his stores of sweetmeats and tuica. But other than a drink and a song in friendly company, we may leave by your leave.
Please, there are other books, magical volumes I haven't yet displayed before you. You must stay. They're stored in my secret cellars near the good tuica, which I serve only to...
To Strahd, you mean? Dear fellow, while I believe I've yet to taste a decent vintage of tuica from your stores, the bit about the magic falls from your tongue like a lie. We'll be off now.
Okay, so we have Gloriana now as well. With quarter staff. So let's check out what kind of magic she has. So like, we're also going for magic missiles, ice knives. Yeah, vampiric touch we can give her as well. So we have a full crew now. But actually, like, thing is that I think that it will be a bit of a pain in the ass to actually really use magic in the system. But I think it's really the combat system that is putting me off a bit, because it is intuitive on the one hand, but on the other hand, a bit a pain in the ass.
At the risk of being rude, I say...
So okay, we know this. Agree, take us to Strahd's carriage. So, people, get ready. Get ready, we will go to Strahd's carriage. Lord Strahd, who's like the Dracula of this world. So let's...
As promised, the Burgomaster directs you to Strahd's carriage. While it is a beautifully appointed vehicle, you cannot help but notice there is no driver. The steeds fret impatiently. They appear intelligent, even anxious to fulfill their assigned duty.
As I said, like, this has so much of a Dracula vibe to it, so it's quite clear where like the inspiration came from.
As the carriage comes about a bend in the terrain, you gain your first glimpse of Castle Ravenloft. Already gripped by apprehension, a sudden dread fills you as the carriage at last approaches the gates of the castle.
Till now, I'd say that it's a bit not unfair to the game, but it's like, it's actually quite a good game so far, like in terms of what was possible at the time, and that they really try to have like a strong dramatization or like a strong dramatic vibe to it. Of course, it would have been better, like, to get a bit more of a direction in the beginning, so that I wouldn't go like for 1.5 hours, just like to find out how the mechanics work and where actually to go first. But slowly it gets a bit of pace. Everything will be fine, we're guests after all. Strange that I should say such a thing, yet there is in the air something which brings sweat to the palms. My breath grows short and my heart pounds, while as if for no reason my muscles tense for a fight. So let's save once more, because you can't save enough in this game, I'd say, so far. Apparently the lord of the castle doesn't want us exploring his home or wandering too freely from our path. With what we've heard to Strahd, I say we go only through those rooms open to us, for now anyway. So, but how do we know which ones are for us? So, this is where we came from, I guess. So let's maybe go first there. It looks as if we can't be leaving until our meeting with Strahd has played its course. As we appear to have little choice, I believe we should continue on and greet the lord of the place. I dare say he will be glad to meet us. Ooh. I just see, like, my dashboard says we are at 3 viewers, which is quite cool. Thanks for being here and enjoying this old and weird game. I'm glad about anyone who is going on this adventure with me, because actually I'm not so much into horror, but I'm quite intrigued by this gothic horror together with an actual, like, fantasy setting.
The doors open upon a scene of warmth and invitation. Yet before the richly laid table and other fine appointments of the room can be examined, the single occupant of the chamber draws all attention. It can be none other than Strahd von Zarovich.
Welcome to Castle Ravenloft. I trust I have not inconvenienced you. It is easy to forget how commanding a summons can seem to wanderers such as you when exploring a new realm. You understand that no ordinary turn of the road led you to this land. All who enter it arrive in answer to a call, to a summons more binding than any a mere lord might give. Here we are, all of us, and here we shall remain. No road leads out of this mist-bound universe. The land entraps many. Its ruler is no exception. And so I have devoted my life to this problem. It is the least a lord can do for his people, is it not? My most recent study concerns certain portals, those dimensional gateways of which mages and philosophers speak. One such portal may lie in the caverns west of Barovia, near the river. Aside from myself, I believe you are the first to hear of it. But please, before you rush to the shores of the Ivlis, allow me to present you with a key. If you are to gain entrance to these caverns, you will find it necessary. I have no time to try the key myself, for adventure is a luxury I can ill afford. However, as I see you are capable, and as I trust you would never betray your host, the key shall be yours for a time. Go as my agent and search out this gateway beneath the Iblis. But enough talk. Please, I have invited you here to join in a pleasant repast. After we finish the best food and brandy wine Barovia has to offer, I will have my carriage return you to town.
The encounter ends as pleasantly as it began, with a heartfelt farewell and wishes for a safe journey from Strahd von Zarovich. Has the Lord of Ravenloft proven himself a gentleman? As the carriage clatters back across the bridge, there is time to reflect on this first encounter with Strahd.
What is this? Evil is sealed. Ah, so, okay, this is the key that first, what Strahd Vanzarovich gave me. What I'm actually quite flabbergasted by, and I didn't know that there are actually games that were using this already back then, is the thing that I can, like, that there's an auto mapping on the one hand, on the other hand with even a feature that I can add text to it. And I think this is what I'm going to do next, is at first explore the village of Barovia a bit more and not going right to the west. Because what I would like to find actually would be something like a shop or something that would be quite good, as like the inventory thing here is also not big enough for really good to not be a problem all the time. And even with sacks and chests that enlarge it a bit, it will be a pain in the ass. I'm sorry about, like, sometimes my connection obviously is lacking, but I hope it's not too bad. So let's start finding out what's in these houses. So we start with this house over here. Okay, this looks like a house of a person that has at least a bit of wealth. Not pretty sure what I'm looking for here, but maybe this is also just not a place to look for anything. The weird thing about this village of Barovia generally is that it seems that there's a person in there. Careful now, we've entered this home without invitation. Should be cautious of our wanderings within. Above all, we should be polite in our inquiries. So, there's a person. Let's talk. He won't talk, nor does it look like he cares to move from the chair of his. The best that can be done is to let him sit and stare away whatever years are left to him. Why did the game designers like build a whole village? And it's not a small village, it's a big village. If everybody here is not talking or anything. So, silent one in a chair. Kinda wealthy. So. Okay, maybe we won't do this with every house. I just check out a couple of other houses to see whether we find anything interesting in here. I mean, there might be like a couple of houses. 'Tis not seemly we barge into a home uninvited with such brazen disregard for courtesy. Yet when so few will deign to speak with us, what options do we have? Exactly, that's it. So... Ha! I would have thought the old one would have something to say. Aren't old men with grey beards the first to tell their stories to passerbys? What has befallen the land where those who have nothing to lose won't part with a simple smile? Okay. So let's check out this house as well. Let's check out another 3 houses or something. If we don't find anything good or helpful there, we leave it again. Okay, this looks like a big one. My hands have gone cold and my heart with them. I'm afraid the chill of this place will make for a cold welcome once we're inside.
I came to destroy you! Yet, in tasting the will of this body, I know you to be different than those who slew us long ago. My name would have been Strobel then, a humble jeweler. He earned his keep by the skill of his hands, content in both life and the love of his wife and children. Now I am vengeance! Unappeasable, unwilling to forgive, I have risen up to exact revenge on those who murdered us. And though I will not kill you, I will use you! He who took our lives was called Victor Grimming. In the years to follow, he became rich, a powerful man capable of escaping all justice. At last, it is believed he escaped death itself and rules still from the darkness of his own tomb. Go to the cemetery and find you there a lord of ghouls, the undead murderer of my family. Destroy Grimmish, or I will turn my inner appetite for vengeance upon you!
How did you come to this if you were once, as you say, a humble jeweler?
Thieves in the night. They came for stones, for amethyst and agate, for opal and emerald. These I gave them freely, yet their leader, Grimmish, chose a dark course and stole from us our precious lives. I begged, but it did not stay their evil hands. I have sought them all out. All are gone, save one. Grimmish, the Ghoul Lord.
Did he already say anything about where Grimmich the Ghoul Lord is hanging out? Did anyone paid more attention than me? Did he say where Grimmich is? Like I'm super thrilled by what's happening here because I didn't expect that. But will you release us from your? But actually, if there is an auto map where I can write notes, it's a bit weird that I think that generally something like a journal or log is missing. Or maybe I have just to find it. Will you? And I have a bit like the feeling that I might have to take notes about what kind of quests I get or something. Will you release us from your influence once we have done as you command?
Humanity remains in this, my fearsome presence. Yes, destroy the Ghoul Lord, and you are free. Further, I will share with you the secret. Go now, fight, live, and return.
Okay. Did he just go into us? You pick up Victor Grimmick's Bone Vault key. So, auto map. Okay, these are the interior location. This is a jeweler. No. Jeweler quest. So let's check out here. Okay. Ah, okay, there. No. The whole game is a bit like Bloodwish in the good old times. I mean, like, Bloodwish was another, like, 5 or 6 years earlier. But, like, from the way how it feels with this, sometimes, like, secret triggers to open doors and so on. This is quite Bloodwishy. So, okay, so. Ah, I wanted to have a look whether... No. There is only the auto map to take notes. So, okay. Good, then let's go out again. And put it also here. So this was... So. Okay, I set another 3, so 1 down, so another 2 houses that we get into. And see whether we find another quest or another person to interact with. First we look for another door. Okay. So I guess this is like the key lock, the keyhole, the key whatsoever. So we... No. Nothing we can do here. But okay, auto map. Ooh. Door. Red key. I mean, I guess it is about a red key that I need there. Maybe it's not. So it would seem some places we're not... Ah, I was super surprised why, like, the picture of my main character was changing, but it makes sense because she's haunted by a ghost at the moment. It would seem some places we're not meant to enter regardless of our efforts. Best to waste no more thought nor muscles on the store, but to move on. Ah yeah, that was this one. That's why there's not even, like, on the auto map there is no door at this point. Is this the right direction? Yeah. I'm quite content that they did this thing. This is really quite cool. Oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. I didn't save afterwards. Oh no. So we have to watch this once more. But this means on the other hand that we can save now and then this was here, right? Here was a jeweler's quest. We can check out the dialogue once more with the jeweler. With the jeweler ghost, whether he says actually where to find the Ghoul King. So...
I came to destroy you!
Ah, this is quite cool. This is quite cool.
I know you to be different than those who slew us long ago. My name would have been Strobel then, a humble jeweler. He earned his keep by the skill of his hands, content in both life and the love of his wife and children. Now I am vengeance, unappeasable, unwilling to forgive. I have risen up to exact revenge on those who murdered us. And though I will not kill you, I will use you. He who took our lives was called Victor Grimming. In the years to follow, he became
Oh, we're back
rich,
on 3 visitors. Quite cool.
man,
Visitors. Viewers. Quite cool that you're there for this interesting game. Go to the cemetery.
Go to the cemetery and find you there a lord of voodoo's, the undead murderer of my family. Destroy Grimmy.
Okay, I know this one. So let's talk everything. So now the ghost is getting into me, which is super scary. That's why I look different now. Jewelers quest. I'm not pretty sure what, like, there was nothing in there that said that this is like a quest that I have to do very quickly or anything, but still I'm a bit cautious. So where is the cemetery of? So this is the Burgomaster's mansion. I don't know where is the cemetery? Is this a cemetery? I guess not, but it might be, right? So okay. There is. No, but this is too small for a cemetery. What kind of sound was this? I have to admit, like, the thing that this game is doing really, really well is actually like the whole thing of bringing together the atmosphere of this kind of style. Okay. Wait for a second. I'll be back in a second. Just quickly have to answer to a message. So back into this. Makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm back. It would seem some places we're not meant to enter regardless of our efforts. Best to waste no more thoughts nor muscles on it. So, okay, yeah. This is completely closed. Okay, so let's check out a couple of other houses. Okay, so what do we have here? Also has a bit of a royal noble touch. But always like a noble touch with 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 squeaks in it. With some broken parts in it. I guess this is like the laughter that also Darklings are actually like doing. Neutralize poison, always a good thing. This is something that we might need. That's a bit like the problem that we as a group have at the moment, that we are missing any kind of cleric. So we have 2 thieves, we have 2 mages, but no cleric at all. And I guess this is not the best composition of a adventure crew. So okay. Okay, there is another person. He won't talk, nor does it look like he cares to move from the chair of his... Okay, another one who lost all his humanity, it seems. Or maybe he didn't lose his humanity, I don't know. He's just like... okay, but then maybe this laughter is coming from him. Okay, but that doesn't seem to be like a very extraordinary house in this village of Barovia. Oh, there's a footman's pick. What the hell? Who's doing this noise? The question is also a bit like why this footman's pick is here. Should maybe someone just like get the footman's pick in hand and let's try to crash down walls? No, this doesn't work. Oops. No. Okay, now back to your broadsword. So there is a cat. Okay, weird. Weird. So, what is this? I'm afraid you find the warehouse abandoned. Trade has become a forgotten art in Barovia. Few travel and fewer still can afford to transport valuables from place to place. In recent years, that cost has become their lives. What is this? It's a broken one, okay. Ah. There's more than one broken one. Okay. For using magic, I have to rest first. Okay, the broken ones are breaking us. Completely. What the fuck? So, okay, there was nothing interesting in there. The warehouse, I guess I have to note on the auto map. Was down there, right? Yeah. Like, seems it's not the best idea already now to get into the warehouse, but we should write it down. Warehouse, broken ones. So, okay. Let's have a bit of a look into this. So that I won't forget it till the next time. Go to west to check out portal for Strahd. This is something that I should remember for sure. Burgomaster's Mansion. This was the one, right? Jeweler, quest, cemetery, kill, ghoul. So I'm starting to use my auto map a bit like a quest log. Maybe this is the only way how I can keep a bit of overview. There is much to be said for appearing friendly to the natives and possibly winning allies among them. Since we've stepped within this home unannounced, a cautious and friendly approach is best. Yeah, but he or she won't talk to me anyway. I hope she talks more to her husband and children than she will to us. Then again, twice nothing is still nothing. There must be others in this town more willing to part with a few simple breaths it will take to speak with us. We'll find them. So let's check out like the storage, but there is nothing. Okay, good. So we go out here again. So another cat. Ha! I would have thought the old one. Okay, I would have something to say, but they don't. So something has to be really, really wrong if the old ones don't tell you all the story. So, well, okay, this is kind of like a very small. Entering a home uninvited is a skill at which I excel. As luck would have it, the purity of my elven face often calms those I come upon unaware. They must believe I am goodly spirit, momentarily confused as I wander through their mortal world. He won't talk, nor does it look like he cares to move from his chair. Oh. We pick up another battle axe. The thing is, the question is, what should we do with all this battle axes and stuff if there is no place where we can sell it off? So, okay. So, okay, this looks like any other house as well. Okay, here is another exit, and this is also an exit, right? Yeah. Okay. Do we know about this big building? Big buildings we should check out for sure. Okay, this is a next to a big building. There's a cat. Ooh. Not the friendly sword. Not him. No wouldn't spare a moment to speak with a stranger. Okay, he is a guy that also like outside went around. But okay, so he also goes around inside sometimes. Barovia and misery are one and the same. All those who live here are the waifs of fate, doomed to take shelter in this wasteland of a town with no hope of a normal life. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting hopeless as well, like walking around here. Okay, there is a door. So let's check out this big building. Ooh. Blood on the Wine Tavern. It's a tavern. So let's go out once more. Write it on the auto map that this is a tavern. Tavern. So, and then we go into the tavern and see who else we can converse there with. Maybe no one, because this is Barovia and people are not very talkative here. The only ones that are talkative are actually undead so far, and an elf, and Roma. No, actually, I don't know. Well, is she also like a Vinari? But anyway, like there's very few people. A couple of Vinari people that are a bit more talkative. And undeads. And elves. Okay, there's a raven. Fitting to Ravenloft. So, okay dokie. So there is a stair to upstairs. Stair going up. Like a feast room or something like this. This is a kitchen then or something? No. We can't take these things. A cat, another like 2 mats that are just laying around. Okay. There's another door over there. Let's check this out. It's kind of a storage room, but with nothing interesting for us. Okay, so then we've seen everything in the area of the tavern that you can sleep in and live in. So let's talk to the people. I'm actually quite happy with how they did like the and how it looks like the dialogue system. I think they did pretty well, like also with the dubbing and so on. Pardon me, but you seem to want to be left alone. That's an invitation for someone to ask why. Or of everything I've met in this town so far, you seem the most like you should be one of us. It's but a feeling, as though we walk similar
Here.
paths.
For I'll say this once. Your business and mine are as separate as the rivers Iblis and Luna. 2 black streams I hope never to see again. To have business in Ravenloft itself is to oppose me. For my single goal is to escape this pit of black bile forever. Were I to curse you, I would wish you luck in any business that keeps you here.
Actually, she's like in terms of Corona, she's quite good, isn't she? Like, she has a mask. Pardon me, but you yeah, okay,
Is
then
it?
we'll say the other.
In my case, I'm sure you're mistaken. You seem pleasant enough, but I have no need of company sympathy or your assistance. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be that abrupt. Truly, though, at the moment, I desire very much to be left to my own devices.
Okay. I guess she will become important later on in this game. So, okay, the sitting ones never talk. So, here we have, Jung Vistani. Vistani was like the...
Ah, Giorgio, greetings. There are a few places in Ravenloft our Bardo caravans haven't seen. That's true enough. We're traders, entertainers, and escorts to the realm. That being said, allow me to act as a merchant and sell you the most excellent Vestani potion I am carrying today. An antidote to the venomous fogs of Baron.
You called yourself an escort. Might you be persuaded to take us to your camp?
Giorgio, outsiders are not welcome in camp.
No.
Well, not often. You don't know how the villagers treat us. Why, Bray Martikova is the only one who smiles when I enter the blood of the vine. I suppose I might be able to introduce you to one of our camp elders. Perhaps even a seer. You're not a villager after all. But you would have to be...
If we're to achieve our goal, we can't afford to join in petty squabbles and prejudice. Blindfold
If
us.
you're willing to put that much faith in me, I shan't let you come to harm. Though I can't answer for my elders. They're most likely to have you thrown from camp. You must know as well that it will take some time to reach my people. Not until next evening will you hear our gypsy fiddles and tambourines, our lamentations echoing in the cold night.
After hours of hard travel, the dark uncertainty of the blindfold is taken away. Safe escort has been provided to the Vistani camp. And as promised, the Vardo overseer has pointed out Madame Eva awaits. Secluded within, the seer practices her ancient art. The cards, she explains, are reluctant to reveal the fate of outsiders. An accurate reading may be impossible. Hesitantly, Madame Eva admits to a missing card, to the one face of the Taroka which has been stolen by another of Ravenloft's Georgios. Madame Eva suspects Lord Strahd himself of acquiring the card, perhaps to employ in his own dark rituals at Castle Raven. As the meeting comes to a close, farewells are taken. Madame Eva assures that the safe escort will again be provided along the secret encampment of the Vistani.
Okay, so this was only like a big bridge to actually getting another quest of finding the card. So let's talk to the bartender as well. And I guess then we're almost 3.5 hours into the stream. Then I guess I will stop the stream soon. Innkeeper, will you welcome us under your roof? We've been long on a chill road and would welcome a fire and a friendly hearth.
Would you now, Outlander? Well, it's never been said Bray Martikova turned a stranger away from his tavern. And I'm Bray, so be welcome. Come in and warm yourself. You're in Strahd's land now, you know. So I expect you'll behave yourself and pay your bills on time.
Okay. The rest is not that interesting for the moment. So I will save. Thanks for following the stream and jumping into this great adventure of Ravenloft Strahd's possession with me. I'm not pretty sure when I will do the next stream of this game, but I'm quite sure that I wanna like dive deeper into this world, because the world itself is like weird, but in a good way. But enough for today. I said like 3.5 hours. That's quite a thing. And so a big thanks to the people that have been viewing this stream. I wish you a good night. Tomorrow will be like a German stream again, like of Baldur's Gate. And yeah, stay tuned, or like watch out for the next timetable to see when Ravenloft Strahd's Possession is again on in English. So good night, thanks a lot, and see you next time.